My name is Liana, and I am 32 years old. When I look back at my life before everything changed, it feels small and quiet, like a room with only one light. Nothing was wrong, but nothing was right either. I lived in a small apartment on a narrow street. Every morning, I woke up early, made tea in a chipped cup, and sat near the window. I watched people go to work. Some of them looked tired. Some of them looked hopeful. I felt somewhere in between. My job paid just enough to survive, not enough to dream, not enough to relax, just enough to keep going. At night, the room was very quiet. No voice, no footsteps, only the soft sound of the fan. I was not unhappy, but I was afraid. Afraid that this was all my life would ever be. Afraid that I would grow old in this same small room. Counting money, counting days, counting what I did not have. I wanted Mari, not love, not yet. I wanted safety. I wanted rest. I wanted a life where I did not have to worry every time I opened my wallet. And that was when he came into my life. He was Komi, quiet, well-dressed, confident in a way I had never seen before. When G spoke, he did not rush. When he listened, he looked serious. When G smiled, it felt like everything would be okay. He never talked about dreams. He talked about stability. A good job, a nice home, a future without struggle. He said things like, I can take care of you. You don't need to worry anymore. And to someone like me, those words sounded like love. When he took me to dinner, the tables were clean and bright. The food was beautiful. The place was quiet and warm. I felt special. I felt chosen. I did not notice that he never asked how my heart felt. I only noticed that he made me feel safe. And I thought that was enough. When he proposed, it was simple. No big speech, no tears. Just one calm sentence. Let's build a life together. I can give you everything you need. Everything. A house. A car. A future without fear. I said yes. Not because I was in love, but because I was tired of being afraid. After the wedding, my life changed overnight. We moved into a big, beautiful house. The rooms were wide and clean. The walls were white and quiet. There was always food. There was always light. There was always comfort. From the outside, it looked perfect. But inside, I felt very small. We ate dinner together, but we did not talk much. We slept in the same bed, but I felt alone. He was polite, kind, never angry. But he never held me close, never asked about my feelings, never tried to know me. I was there, but I was not seen. Sometimes I sat in the living room, surrounded by expensive furniture, and felt a strange pain inside my chest. I had everything, but I had no one. No one to laugh with, no one to cry with, no one to hold my hand when I felt weak. My phone was always quiet. No messages. No, are you okay? No, I miss you. And slowly, a terrible truth began to grow inside me. I was not a wife. I was a part of his life. A beautiful part, a useful parte, but not a loved part. By the end of it, I understood he did not marry me for love. He married me for comfort, for image, for a perfect life. I married him because I was afraid of being poor. Now, I was rich in things, but poor in love. And that was the most painful poverty of all. There was no loud fight, no broken glass, no shouting, just one small moment. A quiet moment. It was our wedding anniversary. I had waited all day, not for a gift, not for flowers, just for him to remember. I cooked his favorite food. I wore a simple dress that I knew he liked. I even placed 2 candles on the table. Even though the house was already full of light, when he came home, he looked tired. He placed his bag down. He sat on the sofa. I smiled and said softly, "Do you know what today is?" He looked at me, confused. Then he said, calm and cold, "Oh, is it something important?" That was all. No apology, no warmth, no cari. In that moment, something inside me broke. Not loudly, not with tears. It just went quiet. And I realized something that scared me more than being poor ever had. I could disappear from this house, and nothing would really change. That night, I lay beside him in the big, soft bed. He slept easily. I did not. I stared at the ceiling and felt empty. I finally understood the truth I had been trying to avoid. I was not his wife. I was part of his perfect life. The house was perfect. The car was perfect. The dinners were perfect. But I was just a piece of that picture. I was respected, provided for, taken care of, but I was not loved. And that hurt more than any anger ever could. I began to mourn. Not just Eam, but the dream I had, the future I imagined, the warmth I hoped for, the love I waited for. I had believed that money would make everything better, but now I saw it clearly. I was rich in things, but poor in heart. I had a big house, but no one to share my thoughts with. I had beautiful clothes, but no one to tell me I was beautiful. I had comfort, but no connection. And slowly, my heart became tired. One day, while cleaning a drawer, I found an old photo. It was me, smiling, laughing, standing in my small old apartment. I looked alive. Before the house, before the money, before the marriage, before I became quiet, I realized how much I had changed. I used to laugh loudly. I used to talk a lot. I used to feel deeply. Now, I felt like a decoration in a beautiful room. Pretty, but empty. That was when I made a decision. A heart without love is the real poverty. And I was done being poor inside. One chose myself. Leaving was not dramatic. I packed a small bag, saw me close, a few books. That old photo. He did not stop me. He only asked, "Are you sure?" I was. Life became smaller, but warmer. The room I moved into was simple. The bed was old. The light was soft. But when I lay down at night, my heart felt lighter. I smiled again. Not because life was easy, but because I was free. I married for money, but I left to be rich in love.